Marilyn E. Blanchard, and I am the inventor of the forms Windows Media and Real Player G2 to 8.0 as of 2001. The reason I created the forms was I found and inducted into a company coordinated and started by me, OBCB Music Publishing, publisher with BMI, ASCAP, CMMRA, Canada company, and affiliate of a lot of others by way of internet. I pulled out of my grandmother's oldest heir in the closet. She had kept all of my grandmother's works. She died as Ollie Blanchard in 1964, and I was the grandchild that was nosy enough to try to help the oldest daughter of Ollie Blanchard because she had moved in public housing from a larger apartment to a smaller apartment. And as she did, she had no furniture, no curtains to the window, or, anything. So I went in to visit my aunt as she had broke her leg on the street from the pebbles and things being on the street where they was cleaning up and renovating the street. And I went to see her and took her some food and everything. And I asked her, I said, Auntie, you don't have no furniture or anything. She said, Child, I ain't got no money and I'm in the middle of this lawsuit. And she was sitting there with a broken leg. And I said, well, Auntie, where is those songs that Grandma wrote? She told me, girl, they in there in that closet. So I went in the closet and I said, okay, Auntie, I'm going to try to go and, play with this. I'm going to see what we can kind of get out of it. So I took it home and everything. I stayed with my auntie a little bit. And when I took it home, I read through this satchel of paperwork that my aunt could save from a place where she was living before public housing on 116th Street, 54 West. 116th Street, now the possession of buildings called the Renaissance. There were crumbling buildings there that my aunt lived in and my grandmother, when she died, she was living there, that they could only survive and save these papers that I now keep in a very stored, secured place in New York City. And I went through the papers and everything, and I did the capers of calling people and tell them that, the heirs of Ollie Blanchard are still alive and things like that, that they were, as Ollie's children, had no, heads or tails on how to go about in detail the things that their mother had scouted in the music industry. As one that knew how to scout the things and read them as I was raising my two children in a public housing development, I decided to just go and from 1982 to now it is 2001. I am looking for the fun of my grandmother's music, which is a lot of music in the endeavor of trying to find a digit, and now it is internet digits of digital funding. BMI and Harry Fox Agency have been awarded the rights as the companies to take an accounting for both performance and those of selling rights, which are mechanical. As of 1982, we had not talked or discussed anything in the zoo of music on who was to have the pride of ownership to the song Please Love Me Forever. But by BMI's records, it was known that the Blanchards and the Malones owned this copyright. And as I pulled the music out of the closet in 1982, I found the rights of recopywriting the song as the Blanchards in a way that we did not lose it to public domain. Had I not, we would have lost it. But I did have it recopyrighted, and I did the favor to the co-publisher to have it recopyrighted with him because I did not want to step on anyone's toes that have worked with the song in the past. As we go on in the years of the 80s and 90s and now into the new millennium, I have found to become a music publisher myself. As of 1992, I became a publisher because I saw in all the monies that were out there due to my family, the Blanchards, and there's some point that the ABCO, EMI companies have to settle and deal with the Malones. I am just an advocate for the Blanchard family as OBCB music publisher. I have combed through the internet to speak of the forms that I have invented. I combed through the internet to find how my grandmother's song was doing in a sublime time that sales for songs, albums, CDs, tapes are all over the television and the internet and stores, out on the shores of going right out to HMV, Tower, Sam Goody, certain other stores that can get you CDs in. So I looked through and I looked through and I looked through and I picked CD Now. And as I picked CD Now, I looked through to see if this song was being sold on several albums, which it was. The one I saw was most prominent was Bobby Vinton, a Welsh singer. He had been singing the song since 1961. After I found that he was singing this song, I went out and bought an album named Please Love Me Forever by Mr. Bobby Vinton. As of 2001, I cannot find that CD anywhere in a internet run, but it is out there. I also found in the All Music Guide a whole repertoire, a list of many albums that sold all tracks with my grandmother's song being just one track on all these albums. It's about 14 to 17 albums being sold with Please Love Me Forever on the albums. So now I take my research to a place where you feel hurt in the estate of Ollie Blanchard and not having what it is the monetary plan of how my grandmother worked with this music and the time she was working with it, 1954 and to her death, was a big, kind of shebang and things of musical nature. I find that I have not, and my family, not received any mechanical royalties except $13, and the last time we received that was in 1995, and that was for me, finding so much in the dig, going from libraries at the Lincoln Center and just finding paperwork that was so deep because the song became so big in certain streets in the 60s and then remade in the 70s, 80s, even in the 90s. Mr. Bobby Vinton did a karaoke VHS tape with my grandmother's song as one of the karaoke selections, and there were only 5 on the VHS. So that is all into the test of finding how do you calculate and bring a accounting of so many things in the internet and so many units of a selection being sold on more than just your track. I take for a matter of fact that Harry Fox Agency is just at a point that they don't even know how to produce a show of how much has been generated by this one song, and it is becoming very, aggravating to a point that I can see how some points of in the past people get really hurt or killed because people don't know how to really account or feel. This is why I created